Hello everybody and welcome to my Return to Seablock series. I'm Icon and this is going to be the first episode of, well, it's actually more of a season 2 of my Seablock series for Factorio, but it's been a pretty long time since I've been here, and this time we're going to get past that green science. When I did the first part of this whole Seablock experience, the playlist for that is in the description box below, I kind of like burned myself out a bit when I was done with the green science and the red science part. I started to build up a geode washing facility, which gloriously failed. As you can see here, there's a massive backup here, and due to that, the whole procedure here has come to a halt. That's not really something that I want to elaborate further now. This is material for another episode. But I noticed when I did that it was time for a break. So SpaceBlock was there for me. SpaceBlock has given me an opportunity to finally finish the tutorial, and now I'm back with that challenge here. So the goal, the ultimate milestone for that's well, not the ultimate milestone, but the big milestone ahead is going to reach the unilived atomic manipulator thingies and gonna be getting able to produce them. This looks like hell of a chore. Advanced circuits are for sure nothing too easy to craft in this mod, and the items in this recipe, they look like I don't even want to know what's in there. But that's gonna be for now my big milestone up ahead. And the first thing that I'm going to go into right today in this episode is going to be an attempt to produce a couple of these optimized biome planners. They are going to unlock farming. Yeah, we are going to farm soon. And here's the thing. I noticed that I'll need 32 of these biome planners to unlock each farming type. And the complicated thing here is that the optimized bioplanners, whatever, it's going to Helmod, they need a ground sample, that's the easy part, and they need an alien plant life sample, that's the hard part. For now, I don't really have any too realistic options to craft these things, so let's see. Alien plant life sample. So there's a couple of ways to produce them. The first and most simple one is to take one garden and transform it into plant life samples. Do that here at the seed extractor. Gardens, they grow everywhere. These green thingies here. Can't pick them up and transform them into alien matter. Over here at the basic farm, I can take these alien plant life samples and try to reproduce them into gardens, but this recipe is really a really ungrateful thing, because it has 1% chance of producing a temperate garden, desert garden, or swamp garden. 32 plant life samples are going to be extracted out of one garden. If I add these percentile chances roughly together, it means that I'm not going to achieve any serious multiplication of plant life samples, unless I'm mistaken here. I've seen in later stages we're going to be able to create alien plant life samples out of with a different method, or much more, we're going to be able to reproduce the gardens in a way. Like here, there's a method of duplicating gardens by using 30 plant life samples. And that's going to be the way where I can finally automate that. But I realize that farming will work way before I can automate that. Right now, I'm sciencing my way to the actual duplicating of that stuff. It's lovely complicated, I know. Here. So this recipe here needs alienated fertilizer, and that's what I'm working on right now. Alien goo. Lovely, isn't it? So This would lead too far, but overall the production of alien bacteria should be doable at this point. So you see there's a little bit of a lengthy way, but overall we can produce in the long run fish. Out of fish we can produce the reproduction of the farming. I don't know if I really want to go down that way, but I decided to do this while I am researching this massive amount of technologies that's backed up now with the green science. And I figured it would be a fun thing to do for this first episode of my comeback to the whole Seablock thing, because right, you see, we got a nice production of science here, but there's simply so much to be done. The amount of tech in my way is massive, and I was already lately considering whether or not I need to upgrade my science park before I hit the blue science packs, but let's not ponder about that too much. Right now, I got a little bit of everything here. Oh, I already dumped that stuff here. So all the gardening things are living here. And of course, I prepared myself a little bit for today's episode. So ground samples, I already made up a little bit of a prefabrication recipe. So ground samples are made out of seedling nests and protective scaffoldings. These are all pretty simple items. So seedling nests, they need soil, and soil is made out of mud and compost. So if I remember correctly, mud was pretty easily made out of various washing procedures. Let's see, what would be a good thing there? Well, now a little bit confused. That recipe doesn't seem to work at that point. Oh god. Seablock, you glorious... yeah, here, because that was the wrong recipe. Here, heavy mud water. That's what we're going to need. So we're going to be able to extract more out of that, but we're going to need washing plants for that plan. Okay, let's start out with that, and I'll just keep sciencing down the road, because there's way too many things that I need to research, and I stopped worrying about understanding these things too much. I just keep researching them for now, because when I was here for the first time, I did one massive mistake in my humble opinion. I tried to understand everything right away, and I didn't want to research further before I understood all the parts that I researched, but that's way too much of an information overload. I won't be able to get that done. So I decided to do this a little bit differently. So, by the way, those washing plants, I don't like where they're standing. So we're going to use these washing plants for that regard. And the compost, well, the compost will be an easy thing to acquire, actually. Actually, you can craft compost out of brown algae. And guess what I got in abundance? So there's another thing that's really bothering me here, and that's all these backup facilities that I got here. Here, for example. This is a wonderful example. This one here is a massive pain, and I want to do something about that. So we're going to use this one here. I hope I got enough stuff. So we're going to create compost out of that. Brown algae. And once that chest is empty, I'm going to pack up a new one. And I want to start to move these things out of my base, because these are really nasty buffers that I've created. Things that I've never would do, that I never would do like that again, because, well, it's a bad habit. Buffering in general is, in my opinion, pretty much a bad habit of mine. Oh, what do we have here? Charcoal pellets. Woo! Woo! More powerful fuel. I mean, I don't want to totally ignore what I'm researching here, but I don't want to overthink things too much, which I did in the previous episodes and such. My god, why do I have that much charcoal on me? Ah, here goes. This is one of my compost facilities. This is pretty much how I want things to be done nowadays. Processing these things right away into something useful. And buffers have to, if they have to exist, buffers should always be accessible in a way that you don't need to move too many things around and use too many how they're called, underground belts and stuff like that. It really matters. I really try to work tidier, not because I not because I think that's that necessary or so. It just makes life so much easier. I did craft the red inserters by hand in my inventory, or I just happen to have a couple left over from the jolly old times way back when. Yeah, okay. Because when I started out with Seablock, I didn't realize that there were extra recipes that I didn't enable back then. So chlorine processing, all these things will enable me to process new things. But overall, I don't mind understanding these processes not too much, simply because there's going to be so much time that I'm spending in FNEI and in Helmod and all these planning tools, and ultimately, it doesn't really matter, you know. I will analyze these technologies, but only from a different angle there. Oh, I'm out of bricks, so let's get to the brick facility. And also, this is going to stay one more, well, laid-back series. I can't provide a speedy tempo in this one. I really try to prepare as much as possible before every episode, but I realized that when I try to prepare too much, the information load is again so heavy that I'm losing motivation to do the actual episode again. Well, Seablock is really a massive thing, but I love every inch of it. And I wanted to get back to this. So composters, hooray. They transform brown algae into something actually useful. I don't think they need a recipe, don't they? Let's see. But there was one thing that I was always totally sure about, and that was the fact that I wasn't abandoning Seablock ever. I really love this one. Oh, speaking about things that I love, silos! Silos, my man, silos. I researched these, and they're going to be a massive, a solution to my massive buffering issue. You know? With silos, I can easily just store a couple of units of something, and if I'm tired of it, I can shoot it. So that's maybe not a sophisticated and ideal way of dealing with things, but it's a start. Paste processing. Okay, I really got no clue what these pastes will be used for, but I can't wait to find out. Alright, so with that out of the way, I'm now going to process as many of these brown algae as possible. And once this chest here is gone, we're going to make it like that. Already reduced the obscene buffering here a little bit. I mean, I'm just transferring one buffer to another. I'm well aware of that. I'm not really solving problems here. I'm just moving them, but that's okay. So now back to the other issue. We need washing plants, and we're going to produce fluids that we're actually not wanting. So let's see. The viscous mud water needs to be extracted by a pump. I think I got one over there. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like their positioning. Probably I had some thoughts way back when I did that, but these aren't exactly. I can't understand what I was thinking back then. That's okay. It's easily half a year ago that I tried to make that. So let's see. It's 5 washing plants. I feel as if I already had calculated that recipe to some degree. So we're going to use the same here. So here, transforming that here. So we got... No, that's too close to each other. They need more spacing. I need to get used to good old Seablock again. Here. I think that's a proper spacing for fluid works. So I just realized that I could actually collect the byproduct here and start transforming that into even more mud. So that is an option that I definitely don't want to lose track of. Okay, so I'm going to do a simple setup here. So let's copy pasta that for now here. And connect to distributors, of course, as well. They should be working like that, yeah. Gonna add in the elbow pipes. Oh, no. Well, wait a sec. I should be able to just move it 1 inch. Here we go. Good old nanobots. Paste processing. Okay. Pressure tanks. That's something I'm really that I'm really hyped for as well. Because pressure tanks will mean that I will be able to store larger amounts of fluids in a more easy and sophisticated way. And that's actually something I'm really looking forward to. So let's say... Here we go. Using the power of copy-paste. I wonder where, if I had an automated production of nanobot ammunition. I can't remember anymore. I feel as if I should have, but... doesn't mean anything. Okay, so there's one thing that we need to take care of, and that's the hydrogen sulfide gas. So here goes. We're going to use a junction like that. So actually considering storing that stuff. Destroying only the excess material there. So let's see what the pressure tanks actually need, because that would be a good option to use them already. Iron pipes, stone bricks, and steel plates. So that's actually quite doable. Gas steam cracking. That's some fun stuff. Can't wait to get there. I mean, there's a lot of high-tech things happening here. later down the road, but now first let me get to the pressure tank. So that's quite a costly thing. Let's see. Here, petrochem oil tank. I don't think that this will... Petrochem gas tank. That's a smaller version of that one. And the... Does a storage tank suffice? I'll have to check that out. There are so many different things here in this mod, but I think, actually, a regular one should do the trick. Okay, let's see. This is far from being done, but I want to wire it up nevertheless because I want to know whether or not the tank thing now works. Oh yay. Well, okay. Don't want to use the costly holes here. Okay, so we're storing hydrogen sulfide gas. Wonderful. Okay, so we got, of course, an output of heavy mud water, and also the output of mud, but that was the desired part of that process. Gas steam cracking. Higher power steam engines, also quite interested in that. But a carbon recipe, as it seems. Pretty interested in all these processes. Oh god, we're not gonna get the job done today here with the with those science packs, but that's okay. It's Seablock, I meant. It's Seablock. So let's see. We got mud and we got compost. So that's good news. So well, I think I was just the wrong direction. Hey, there's a blueprint on the grid. Go away, you. Okay, so just gonna be piping that stuff over there, and we're gonna be needing 8 friggin' processors for that. Holy crap. Okay. I didn't expect such a excessive amount of force, but I also must admit that I kind of like forgot that we're at Seablock again. So I'm going to take down these items here. They are not really necessary as of yet. So that's 7 of them dudes, 8 of them, okay. So of course there's now nothing happening because the backup fluid there is killing it. So how much fluid am I producing right now? I'm producing 300 units of fluid per second. So there were these, what are they called? Clarifier? Clarifier. Gets rid of all the water you don't want. So these produce, I don't know how much they were actually able to process. Paper making tier 2. Woo! Well, I don't know if I'm able to make that though. I guess I will leave these new things for large-scale facilities later down the road. I might need more than one clarifier. It's kind of a brute force method right now to just flush away all that other useful muddy water, but I don't feel like going down the full processing route, and I don't need to. Since I'm going to play Seablock a lot off camera as well, I will do this maybe somewhere between the lines, you know. I really like to have some little projects to do. Alright, let's do this like that. Gotta get away. And refining this little process here should be a nice little thing to do. Okay, so I was just busy doing this, and now we're going to build the according receivers. And then, well, okay, I kind of forgot. Ah, well, that was nonsense. Could have built T-junctions right away. No problem, though, no problem. So we're going to see how many clarifiers we're going to need here. So... two of them, if I see that correctly. Let's see. Yeah. So now these can keep producing and producing, and here's one thing that I want to do here. So, do I already have a proper pump? No, I can't do pumps yet because but we can do valves, no? Valves were a thing here. So here, inspector valve, non-return valve, overflow valve. Allow if the output side is below 80%. No, allows flow if the input side is above 80%. I'll need that one. So basically what I want to do is create a little facility that burns away that stuff, but only if the tank is really full, basically. So I can store this substance for later use, and at the same time I can get rid of the excess. So flare. Ooh, flare stack. Here we go. Basically a flare stack locked behind the valve there. Should do the trick. Okay, we are getting closer to get the first part of the recipe done. I missed it. This is so much more complicated than SpaceBlock was, but it's in a good way complicated. And I'm also very, very happy that I did SpaceBlock. It was a very, very educational experience to play full vanilla without all these add-ons. It makes me value all the things that I got here a lot more. I think it's meant to be used like that. We're going to see. That tank's full and that thing ain't flaring. I did it wrong. But I'm always confused with these. Okay, so we got the mud. Now, let's get the compost. Yeah, well, I'll do it like that. A little bit complicated, but whatever. Let's string it in like that. Bottle gas processing. Stuff I need. Stuff you need, but you never knew you'd need it. Okay. So this whole idea only has one big drawback. And that's this one here. Okay. I need to string that away from my assemblers because they're supposed to output there. Okay, now, what was the stuff called again? Soil. We're going to produce soil. Okay. Now, hope that one... Oh, let's check it out. Is one inserter enough? Okay. Yeah, you know, it's better to double check. I know that I could have inserted the compost just from the bottom side, but I like it more this way. Just need to take care that there's always going to be some sort of access to this buffer so that I can safely remove it later. Okay, so we got that stuff. Now, the next part will be... Do I even have access to Tier 2 assemblers yet? Yes, I do, actually. Good stuff. So, 3 Tier 2 assemblers. And, well... we're going to do something like that. It's too inviting to not do it here. String the ingredients together right away. So, how's that stuff called again? Seedling nest. Alright. Like I said before, it's not the... Wait a sec, am I lacking the technology for that? That would be quite a lull now. So, here, agricultural planning. Made in liquefiers, chemical plants. It's just the wrong machine. It's just the wrong machine, Dad. Okay. It just... Okay. I see what happened there. Chemical plant. Do I still own chemical plants? Yes, I do have 2 of them. Wonderful. Okay, so, well, that makes a lot more sense. Because I already was wondering that a Tier 2 assembler was capable of doing fluid processing here. Okay, we're going to string it up like that. Here we go. Water inserted, and let's do this one. And, well, whatever, I'm going to output. We're at SeaBlock. We can't do crazy things with inserters again. Here. Pick up tile, drop tile. That's one thing I love about SeaBlock in general. So, a couple of electric poles again. Never grows old. Okay, so the seedling nests are done. Now, off to the protective scaffolding. So this is going to be also quite a pain, I guess. Because we all remember that wood wasn't that easily done. So, wood bricks made out of wood pellets. Let's see. Why is this old so friggin' confusingly made up? So, don't want to go for the wood bricks recipe because that would be quite the overkill. But talking about overkill, you know. So, well... Why is this not behaving like it should? Because I'm skipping a step in the process, that's why. I think we have to do this like that. Still haven't fully understood yet why this doesn't get properly calculated here. So, I'm properly confused about that one, but that's okay. The recipes here are so fundamentally different from what I'm used to that it's completely okay to be gloriously confused again. So we're going to need something like that. Oh, and now that chain of things does make way more sense. So this is one nifty piece of recipe, because it would make a pure green algae output without those pesky brown algae, but that's actually not really necessary here. The brown algae are actually welcome. And so, but now, let's get back to where to get that wood from. I mean, I'm frankly confused. Let's get back to FNEI. How was woodcraft here again? I know it's a very fundamental one, and so let's see. Wood is crafted from... What the heck? So, trees grown in the Arboretum. Okay, that's something I somehow have, Okay, I mean, there was no malfunction in the recipe whatsoever. It was... Oops, I didn't mean to remove those, but whatever. It was a malfunction in the perception of the user. So the thing here is, it was completely fine. What we're going to need here is an entirely new chain of production. That's all. So, let's see. I'll have to produce tree seeds. Tree seeds are made out of soil and water. Okay. Well, that's something I can procure. I think soil, wasn't that the stuff we produced there? Awesome. So, no problem. We got more than enough soil. Okay, my dear friends, I'll leave this at this point. That was a very unforeseen incident. I mean, I was so sure that I was actually producing wood since ages, but obviously, no. I was just compressing algae into some cellulosey wooden brick, wood pellet kind of like stuff. Yeah, here. Never made it. I just made charcoal out of the... Okay, so... Next episode, I'll plant some trees, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be able to do this protective scaffolding thing. Probably I'll expand off camera this little washing facility here, because I feel like it. I feel like it would be a lot of fun. And probably not. We'll see about that. Drop me your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a thumbs up on that video if you enjoyed. And yeah, if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing. There's daily content popping up there. All you need to do is turn on the notification bell. You'll stay updated. I wish you all a good time and hope to see you again on the C block. Bye-bye, everybody.